Hi, I'm Aaron. Welcome to a place of growth where wisdom finds a voice. In this video, I'm sharing my story. It's 2025, and if you work in tech, there's a good chance you may be getting laid off very soon. In fact, over 200,000 tech workers have already been laid off this year alone. And unfortunately, I was one of them. On Friday afternoon, my manager pulled me into a virtual meeting and told me that my role was being eliminated due to company-wide restructuring. I felt blindsided because we had just completed our annual performance reviews a few weeks ago, and I had received positive feedback across the board. Not to mention, I had joined the company just 8 months prior and was still in the middle of onboarding. I was escorted out of the building by security and sent home with a severance package, an offer to help find another job within the company, and a strongly worded NDA, which prohibited me from speaking negatively about the company or disclosing any confidential information. As I read through it, I couldn't help but think how bizarre the whole situation felt. I was still in shock, didn't know what to do next, and felt hopeless about the future. That night, I lay in bed trying to fall asleep, but all I could think about was how I had just gotten laid off from my dream job and was now one of the 20% of American workers who were unemployed. It didn't help that my wife was out of town, and I had no one to turn to for support. I tried calling my mom, but she didn't pick up, and I didn't blame her. The last time I called her crying for comfort was when I was 14 and found out that my hamster had died. As the night wore on, I started feeling more and more emotions bubbling up inside of me. I worked so hard and always went above and beyond. Then came the embarrassment. How could I let my wife down like this? She's counting on me to pay the bills, and I just got fired. And finally, the shame. Was I not enough? Did my colleagues secretly hate me? Did I say something wrong? Would I ever get another job? For the first time in my life, I wanted to disappear and start over somewhere else. Just then, I heard a knock at the door. I froze, hoping that it wasn't the neighbor I had just met a few weeks ago and didn't want to talk again. Much to my surprise, though, it was my mom. She drove 6 hours straight to be with me. I knew at that moment that I had to pull myself together for her sake and come up with a plan to move forward. The following morning, I woke up feeling refreshed and ready to tackle the day. Of course, I was still scared, but I knew that I had two options in front of me. Either give in to the fear and let it consume me, or push through it and try to make the best out of the situation. In the book Start With Why, Simon Sinek says, "If you don't know what makes you different, you will never be able to convince anyone to care." When I reread that quote, something clicked. Even though I was afraid of the future, I knew deep down that losing my job was the universe's way of telling me to change direction. Just 3 months earlier, I had finished reading Start With Why for the second time and had even summarized the key points in my journal. At the time, I had been working on a project that involved leading a team to organize a large-scale event. And I had found that most people I interacted with didn't really care about the event. They would show up late, leave early, and not contribute unless I asked. So I decided to apply the ideas from Start With Why to see if I could motivate people without resorting to micromanaging. First, I articulated the why behind the project. I wrote down how organizing this event would help promote our organization and give back to the community. Next, I outlined the how, which included setting clear goals, defining success metrics, and establishing individual responsibilities. Finally, I shared the what we would accomplish by working together. This included things like the number of attendees we expected, the amount of money we hoped to raise, and the positive impact we would have on the community. Once I had defined the why, how, and what, I went to each team member individually and explained my vision. To my surprise, everyone got excited and started asking questions. By the end of the meeting, I had created buy and an ownership. People were eager to take action and do their part. Fast forward to today, and the event was a huge success. We raised over $10,000 for charity, made dozens of new connections, and received positive feedback from attendees. Most importantly, though, was the personal growth I experienced. I discovered that I had a natural ability to inspire and lead others, and that I loved doing it. You see, most people operate based on what they know, what they can see, touch, and experience firsthand. However, inspiring others to take action requires connecting with their values and aspirations. This means going beyond the obvious and appealing to something deeper within them. It means asking questions like, what do you want to be known for? And what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? It means helping others see the bigger picture and how their actions fit into it. After reading Start With Why, I decided to double down on this approach. I started practicing the art of asking powerful questions and truly listening to the answers. I paid attention to people's motivations and aspirations and helped them connect the dots between their work and the greater good. Over time, I noticed that people responded positively to this approach. They became more engaged and inspired, willing to go above and beyond what was expected of them. For example, while working on my most recent project, I noticed that my colleagues seemed unmotivated and burnt out. So I took some time to talk to them one-on-one and ask open-ended questions to understand their perspectives. What I learned was that they felt undervalued and disconnected from the larger purpose of their work. I then connected them to relevant projects and initiatives that aligned with their passions and strengths. Within weeks, I saw a significant improvement in morale and productivity. My colleagues became more engaged and enthusiastic about their work and were willing to take on new challenges. Through this experience, I realized that I had a gift for helping others see the bigger picture and that this was something I wanted to pursue further. I began attending workshops and events focused on leadership and personal growth, and even started coaching friends and family members on how to unlock their potential. It was during this time that I discovered the career coaching industry and knew that this was the path I was meant to follow. You see, the problem with traditional career advice is that it's often generic and one-size-fits-all. Everyone is told to polish their resume, network with others, and hustle harder. But rarely are they taught how to find meaning and inspiration in their work. That's where I come in. My unique approach combines the principles of Start With Why with my personal experience in overcoming adversity and reinventing myself. I teach others to do the same. While it might seem counterintuitive, losing my job was actually the best thing that could have happened to me. It forced me to confront my fears and weaknesses head-on and ultimately led me to discover my true passion and purpose. Now, instead of being afraid of losing my job, I embrace the uncertainty of the job market, knowing that it's simply a signpost guiding me towards what's next. And remember, if you feel stuck or uncertain about your career, don't despair. Instead, use it as an opportunity to reflect on your values and goals and take bold steps towards pursuing them. You never know where it might lead you. Share your story of reinvention and how you found meaning in your work despite the challenges you faced. Your story has the power to inspire and uplift others and help them believe in themselves. Together, we can create a community of individuals who support and encourage one another in our journey towards personal and professional fulfillment. Thank you for listening, and until next time, I wish you all the best in your journey towards a more meaningful and fulfilling career. Growth is a journey, and if you're ready to walk it, subscribe. Like this video to support the message, drop a comment so others know they're not alone, and share this with someone who needs a fresh start.